Hello, Teacher Tina here. Today, let's discuss the who, what, when, where, and why of referring teachers. Let's start with who is a referring teacher? Great question. So, I want for you to imagine just for a second that I am not Teacher Tina. In fact, I live in Beijing. My name is Hiring Manager Hallie, and I work for VIPKID. Now, I get into work in the morning, fire up my computer. We have a new applicant. It's you. I look through, I see your contact information. All right. I see your work experience. Good. Your education. Great. What's that at the bottom? This candidate has a referring teacher. Woohoo! I already like you. I already think that you're probably a pretty good candidate for the company. Now, all right, I'm not hiring manager Hallie. I don't work in Beijing, but I do kind of have an idea of what the company is looking for, and I have been a hiring manager in the past. So, I know that typically people who come by word of mouth or who have a type of endorsement of sorts tend to get looked at favorably. I can't speak for the hiring managers themselves, but it's just a thought. You don't have to have a referring teacher. It is your choice, but it won't hurt you to have one and you have nothing to lose. So, just a thought. What can a referring teacher do for me anyway? Well, there are lots of different types of referring teachers. There are some types who focus more on simply blasting their information out there to reach as many potential candidates as possible. And there are other teachers, referring teachers, who really like to coach candidates through the process. I love coaching people through the process, and I think it's such an important honor to have that role in somebody's experience. So I hope that you take that seriously when you're choosing your referring teacher. You're probably going to have questions. That's just the way it is. And think about it. All right, so you're the candidate. Let's say that you have some questions. Do you want to go and ask some random person at VIPKID's corporate who has never actually applied for the teaching role and is also sitting across the hall from hiring manager Hallie? Or do you want to ask somebody who's been in your shoes before? Probably you want to ask somebody who knows what it feels like to be in your shoes. Just a thought. So when can I add a referring teacher? You can add a referring teacher at any time up until you are hired. So maybe you already passed the interview process, the interview stage, and now you're getting ready for your mock and you have lots of questions. Perfect time to add a referring teacher, right? So you can ask that person for personal experience. Some referring teachers will offer coaching. Like I like to coach my candidates through Skype. Any way they're really interested, I will pretty much do, since VIPKID is my main job. So you want to find somebody who is going to help you whenever you need it. So that's the when piece. You can add a referring teacher anytime up until you are hired. All right, so where do I add a referring teacher? The easiest place to add a referring teacher is in the application itself. So if you have not yet applied, use a referring teacher's link. Not just any referring teacher, use the referring teacher that you want to be linked with and that you want help from. All right, you cannot, this is the biggest takeaway message, you cannot change your referring teacher once you have one. So if you use somebody's link, you are linked up. Even if you try to contact the company, they will not allow you to change your referring teacher. It is one referring teacher per applicant's email address. So you're kind of stuck with who you choose. So that's why I encourage you to do a little bit of research and find somebody who you think will do an excellent job helping you. So that's the easiest way, is just by using somebody's link. But you can also send an email to the company letting them know who your referring teacher is. So at any point in the process, you can email them as long as you haven't already used somebody's link or code, and you also can't have already applied through an ad. That's just a weird thing in the system. You cannot add a referring teacher if you applied through an ad. So just keep that in mind. It's always best to use somebody's referral link or apply through the website and add a code later. Just a thought. And why are there so many referring teachers? All right, so I'll keep it real with you. There are tons of referring teachers all over Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, dropping their link and their code. Guilty. But why? All right, so first and foremost, keeping it real with you, this is probably the main reason why there are so many people trying to get referrals. The company does reward teachers who bring and coach candidates through the process, and those candidates make it. Of course, there's really no need for those referring teachers to contact you. It's kind of on their own will that they coach you. But it's for their benefit that they help you out, right? Because if you end up becoming a teacher, that teacher gets a bonus. So that's the main reason I think most people are referring teachers. But a lot of us also are very passionate about VIPKID and what VIPKID does for the world, right? We are committing our mornings usually to these little adorable kids in China, and it is such a cool thing, and we want other people to experience it as well. So this morning, actually, I got a message from Teacher Lynn, and I'm not a runner. Let me just say I am not a runner. I really don't like running very much, but I've heard of a thing called a runner's high, and I think I get a referrals high. So when a referral reaches out to me and updates me and says something like, I am 2 months in and I am teaching my 200th class today, and I'm loving it, and I've referred other teachers as well, Teacher Lynn, that totally makes my day, and it makes it all worth it for me. So I hope that you find somebody who is able to answer your questions, who is going to be a great resource for you as a referring teacher. If you don't already have somebody, I would love to cheer you on through the process and offer you any input, any, if you want to Skype or something, I'm totally up for that. So feel free to follow the directions below. Even if you don't choose me, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you have great experiences with VIPKID. Happy teaching! Goodbye!